Hey guys, it's Infinite, and today we're playing some Need for Speed Most Wanted, and anyone who's been following this game is probably curious to how I have this game a few days early, and the reason I have it early is because Machinima sent out copies to their partners who were interested in promoting this game, posting some pre-release footage, and I said, you know what, this is perfect for me. I've been a racing fan for quite some time, been playing Need for Speeds on and off since they've been out, and I am a big fan of the Forza series, and even back in the PS2 days, a big fan of the Gran Turismo series. So I've been in all different areas of racing. I've been into the simulation stuff, I've been into the arcade stuff, and I've played the stuff that's a hybrid of both of them. So what you guys are going to see here in about 10 or 15 seconds is the second part of the opening cutscene, and I think it lays a great foundation for this game, so I'm going to let that play out and then pick up right after there and give you guys my thoughts on this game.
Welcome to the city of Fairhaven, home to the most intense street racing on the planet. 10 drivers rule these streets. Always on the run from the cops, they drive the best cars and dominate the city. They are the most wanted. To join this elite group, you'll need to earn the right to race them, beat them all, and you'll be #1, Fairhaven's most wanted driver. To do that, you'll need cars. Lots of cars. Spread out across the city are some of the hottest cars ever made. If you can find them, you can drive them. To own one, simply drive up to a jack spot and jump in. Follow the route marked on your map to your first car. The streets are waiting.
So now that you guys have gotten a nice little summary of what this game is all about, I'm going to let you guys know how I feel in terms of graphics, gameplay, sound, and all that good stuff. So let's start off with gameplay. Now this game is developed by Criterion, and if you guys don't know who Criterion are, they made Burnout 3 and they made Burnout Paradise, and I'm sure they've been involved in a lot of other racing games as well. And they have amazing credentials. Some say that Burnout 3 is the best arcade racing game ever made. So these guys definitely know what they're doing. And this game plays a lot like Burnout. The whole tap the brake to drift is taken straight from Burnout. And obviously this is more of a tuner approach to the gameplay, more so than a straight-up destruction game. Obviously, if you guys played Burnout, the objective most of the time is take the people off the road to win the race, not necessarily beat them on the track. And this is a little bit of that mixed in. You could take people out like in Burnout, but there's more so focusing on getting to the finish line faster than taking the players out. But as you guys can see right here, I'm going to be jumping into the Porsche, and in the beginning cutscene they did say that any car that you find that has a emblem over it, you could hop right in, and that's an awesome feature. So I'm sure there's X amount of cars in the game that you could find and do that with. And I've noticed that this game is focusing heavily on high performance cars. Now previous Need for Speeds would make you kind of climb your way up the ladder. You'd start out with like a 240SX, Nissan 240SX, or like a Ford Focus or something like that, and you'd have to climb up the ladder. Now this game's a lot different than that. If you're starting out with a Porsche, I'm assuming that you're going to keep building up to things like Paganis, Bugattis, Lamborghinis, Koenigsegg's, stuff like that. And I think that's an awesome thing. I mean, yeah, it's always fun building like a little 4-cylinder up to like 800 horsepower and going really fast, but I think it's better to just focus on the high performance cars. That's what people want to see, and that's definitely what this game has brought to the table. So yeah, like I said, gameplay similar to Burnout, but it is the Need for Speed we all know and love. It's got the nitrous, and like I said, with it's got a little bit of Criterion's Burnout magic put into the gameplay. But if you've been playing Need for Speed for a while, you're not going to be like, oh my god, this plays so much different. I think it plays beautifully. I'm not sure if this game is running at 60 frames, but it sure does seem like it. It doesn't slow down whatsoever, and that's very, very impressive to do with the hardware of an Xbox 360. So I was very, very impressed at how well this game ran. In terms of sound, you're always going to get amazing sound from a Need for Speed. They've had amazing sound forever, and it's something that they've just always had, and you could kind of expect from them as second nature. It's not something that you're going to ever worry about coming from a Need for Speed game. Next, graphics. You guys are watching the same gameplay I'm watching. It is a beautiful, beautiful game. It's, like I said, it's absolutely insane that they're getting this much out of the Xbox. It's really crazy. They're doing more than maxing this thing out, and I think it's an amazing thing that they could do this with that old of hardware. So, a little bit more outside of the racing. Obviously, it's Need for Speed. It has that whole running from the cops thing like you guys heard in the beginning cutscene. There's a lot of cop evading. Obviously, in this gameplay, I didn't show any of that, but if you guys want to see more, I will definitely show some cop chases, because those are always really fun. Especially in games like this, they'll have like Lamborghini cop cars and stuff, so it does get really, really challenging running from the cops. I'm trying to think what I haven't covered. Okay, so I think it might be called Battle Log? If I'm wrong with the name, I apologize. But basically, it keeps track of everything you and your friends have done. So, in your single player, you could still pretty much have a multiplayer competitive experience with your friends, battling back and forth with the races, and it adds replayability to the game because you want to go back and beat your friends' scores. As where if that didn't exist, you would just kind of play the campaign and go about that, doing that. I haven't gotten into the actual multiplayer yet, so again, if I do a second or third video, I could touch on that then. And what I'm going to show you guys right now, coming up at the end, oh, right there in the loading menu, you guys could see, as you get your rep up, you could race the people of those cars and probably win them. Like the next one was like an Alfa Romeo or something like that. But here's the customization right at your fingertips. Very, very easy. You just use the D-pad and you customize your car right on the spot. I think that is a beautiful thing. It makes it so much easier. You don't have to drive to upgrade shops, and I just thought it was a great thing to incorporate. And like I said, guys, haven't played this game a ton, but my first impressions are amazing. This game is great. If you have any interest in cars, any interest in racing games, or any interest in just having a friendly competition with your friends, I highly, highly encourage you to pick this game up when it comes out on the 30th. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys next time. All right, see you later.